Hello, welcome along to Bournemouth. We can say sunny Bournemouth because the sun is out today, which is good news. We have a great show coming away on Sunday evening. Chris Billam-Smith makes a maiden defence of his WBO title against Mateusz Masternak. A Christmas cracker, if you like. A Christmas cracking lineup alongside me as well. Johnny Nelson and Matt Macklin and Andy Clark. Andy, how much are you looking forward to this one on Sunday evening? Sunday night boxing.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I love the return of the king strapline. It's that time of year where you could go for fight night, you know, the violent night, season's beatings, the fight before Christmas. I love all of them, but the return of the king I'm a big fan of, and I'm a fan of the fight because I was saying to Johnny yesterday, I feel like Chris Billam-Smith has picked Mateusz Masternak because he knows that he'll be tough, just to give him that edge of fear going into the fight, to make sure that there's no complacency there at all in a first defence off the back of that incredible night, which he admits cannot be topped at the stadium. You don't want to fall at any kind of hurdle, but particularly not the first one. He's champion now and he needs to stay there.
As Andy just said there, Johnny, it was an incredible night in May here in Bournemouth. Chris achieving his dreams, winning his world title. It's a hard thing to do, but just how hard is it to keep that world title?
So now he's usually the format goes, you win the world title, you get a bit of a gimme opponent after that, then you've got to do your mandatory. He's actually straight in with a tough one. And when I saw this on paper, I said it yesterday, I thought, what are they doing? This is such a dangerous fight for him. But he's got to rise to the occasion. If he wants to believe I am the best in the world, I've got to get rid of guys like this. And getting the win will elevate him mentally in regards to where he stands amongst the cruiserweights in the world. But it's a tough ask. It's a tough fight. This is not a gimme. This is one of those fights where it could be a sad night Sunday night. I hope he pulls it off, because the same way I'm actually thinking he won't win, I'm going to big him up massively for winning, and he'll not get the praise for the win. Because people won't understand how valuable the win is.
That's the thing. On paper, he's a really tough test, isn't he, Matt, for Chris on Sunday?
Definitely.
Sunday, not Saturday.
Definitely. I remember. I know it was a few years back now, but I remember his fight against Bellew. Tough fight, And Billam-Smith. The stars aligned for him when we were back in Bournemouth when he won the world title. Tough fight, scrappy fight, but he got over the line and he won it. Now, I agree with Johnny and Andy. Having a tough. Your first defence could easily be flat after that big night. So, it's good that he's got a challenge, because he'll know that he has to be at the top of his game.
How much pressure is on Chris's shoulders, though, Andy?
Yeah, plenty, but that's what you want, isn't it? That's what comes with being world champion, and this is what he dreamed of. This is a situation that he always wanted to be in. And it was great seeing Masternak yesterday too, because he was in tremendous form, and he had the look and the...
He seemed very relaxed, didn't he, and happy, and
absolutely.
Well up for it.
He's got that kind of buoyancy of someone who never expected this opportunity to come, and now it's here. He's just supremely confident that he can take it, because he's been in and around that top 10, top 15 for 10 plus years now. At any point, somebody could have given him a voluntary, and nobody's done it. And there's a reason for it. He cannot believe that Billam-Smith has given him this chance.
This is the thing for Masternak. He has waited so long, hasn't he, for this opportunity. It's kind of like it's now or never for him, and in that could make him extremely dangerous on Sunday.
Yeah, because there's no other day to save himself for, basically, and he's not that kind of guy anyway. He's got 5 defeats, but 2 were by split decision, 2 where he pushed Tony Bellew and Uniel Dorticos, who was another really good fighter, to a hard, close, unanimous decision, and the other one was an 11th round stoppage where he was stopped on his feet in Russia by a really good fighter in Grigory Drozd, who had to retire through injury. So that's him, that's who he is. So we know what we'll get from him on Sunday.
He's not going to get a shot like this again. This is last chance saloon. He can't believe this has happened. He's going to...
On paper, it's probably his softest touch.
On
paper to fight for world title. And that sounds really disrespectful towards Chris. But on paper, it's his softest touch to fight for world title.
Where do you think Masternak will see Chris's weaknesses?
Put it this way. Masternak has knocked out more opponents than Chris has had fights.
Yeah.
So he's inexperienced.
Almost double.
Yeah, so he's inexperienced of fighting all shapes and sizes. Masternak is a guy that the heavyweights use him as a sparring partner. Why? Because of his toughness, because of his inside fighting. So the inside fighting will actually suit Masternak more than it will Chris. Chris has got the height, he's got the reach. Chris needs to dominate him from the outside, and when he comes on the inside, punish him, because Chris is actually not a bad inside fighter either. So it's such... When he was doing a public workout here yesterday, Chris was sat on the right hand side, and Chris And I was doing the same, watching him as though it's a potential opponent. I'm saying, Chris, he holds his hands like a mixed martial arts fight. His elbows are far away from his wrist. His guard is wide open. You've got to look at dumbing in the shots and slipping a hook around the jab. I don't know if Chris is capable of doing that. I know he's capable of being a strong opponent to push him back. Masternak is not a good fighter on the back foot. He's good offensively, but not defensively. And I hope he picked up yesterday.
That's the thing for Chris Billam-Smith. The cruiserweight division, it's thriving, isn't it, right now? Particularly here, in the UK, there are so many great fights there for Chris. Potential rematch with Okoli, potential rematch with Richard Riakporhe. But he can't overlook Masternak on Sunday night, can he? And he won't be at all. I mean, he has left no stone unturned, I'm sure, in camp with Shane.
No, and I think picking him as he has will make extra sure that won't happen. He's a very realistic person, Chris Billam-Smith.
Down to earth, isn't he?
Yeah, you look at the way he's conducted his career. He'll say to you that he's not maybe as naturally talented as some others out there. There's still a very high level of natural talent there, but there are maybe others who've got more of it. But he maxes out every single other part. People will look at him and they will feel like he's a beatable fighter, but he's maybe a beatable fighter who has made himself really hard to beat. But he does like a fight. And if he does that, then that'll play into Masternak's hands.
And let's not forget, it's in Bournemouth again. I mean, we've had a few fight nights now, haven't we, down here, and they've all been absolutely brilliant. It is going to be sort of a cauldron of activity, isn't there, on Saturday night in the Bournemouth International Centre,
Is this the third time here?
This is the third. This is the third time here. The third time at the International Centre. Yes.
Okay. So
fourth time in Bournemouth.
So the way the fans here are ridiculous. Earlier on yesterday,
in a good way.
In a good way. Yesterday they had an amateur squad in the ring, being able to perform to show what they can do, show their loins, and so therefore you're giving fighters, amateur and professional, an opportunity to be seen. So if you're talking about bringing boxing back to grassroots, bringing boxing back to areas where the TV wouldn't go, like Wolverhampton here in Bournemouth, at the end of the UK, you're giving a great opportunity for so many fighters to be seen. To me, it's so important because now it gives other young fighters coming through a promise to think, I could do that, I could cut top the bill, I could be the one that brings Sky TV to my town and my city. What a way to drive and push support and young fighters coming through.
And for Chris, it will be a home crowd behind him, but with that does come a lot of pressure as well.
He loves that. He's one of the few fighters that wants to box at home. He boxes better at home. I love boxing away from home. I love being in the Lion's Den. He's comfortable here at home, but again, he's a world champion. The responsibility of world champions, you've got to make sure you can go away and fight anywhere and come back with a belt. So after getting home comforts here, he's got to be prepared to go to Timbuktu and fight, to go to the Lions' backyard and fight, and still come back a champion. That's part of the responsibility for being a champion.
Matt, what are you looking to see from Chris on Sunday?
Just more of the same. He's got to be really switched on, which we've all spoken about why he definitely will be, and just try and carry the sort of level of performance that he's been performing at into this fight, and maybe up a little bit more, because he might need that bit extra to get the win here Saturday. This is a really hard fight. I know.
That's what I was going to say. Did you think Andy needs to raise the bar on Sunday, Chris?
Yeah, I think you always do. I think when you're champion, you want to try and climb to that next level, and that's about kind of growing with the title and growing into that status of being a world champion. Johnny was talking about it yesterday, about believing that you are the best, and you absolutely have to believe it. It's a competitive division, but he needs to believe that he is the number one.
Does that come straight away, the believing you're the best? As soon as you win the world title, does that sink in, or does it take a minute to sort of settle in?
This fight will make Chris think I am the best in the world, because this is Chris's best opponent as far as I'm concerned on paper. So if Chris gets the job done and gets the job done well, this will put him on the way to think, you know what? That's me. I'm the man now. I've done it. I've proved it. I've gone through everything. But you've got to think like that. You've got to, because it's got to switch. Because otherwise, you're just a part-time gatekeeper. And again, there's probably a handful of world champions that are classed as world champions in the world that believe they are the best in the world. Chris, and it doesn't matter if nobody else believes it. Chris needs to go in there and think, I am the best in the world, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you why. And that way, there's longevity. I had my title for 7 years. I believed I was the best. People might not, he might not believe, but I had to think like that. And this is what Chris has got to do. I know
it's a mentality.
It's mentality.
Yeah.
I know, and I think Andy asked a question Chris yesterday about what he thinks. I said, answer wisely. And I want to see how he answered it in regards to how does he feel about being a champion. So I want to hear him say, you know what, this is me. You know, I'm top dog. This is where I am. I don't want him to say, well, I want to say I am with the other champion. I want him to own it. Own it to say, I'm the boss here. And that way you will see a completely different fighter. After this fight Sunday night, you'll see him carry himself differently, because he'll think, you know what, I've stepped up against the guy that is dangerous. And it's a fight
He'll
that he
still
won't
be
get
the
credit
gentleman, though.
I think a win against Masternak legitimises him.
Yes.
Some people might...
But what I'm saying is, for him, will that legitimise it?
For him as well, and people, because some people might say, the stars aligned for him against the Coley, Bournemouth, this and that, but can he do it now against Masternak? So if he does do it, I think that, like I say, legitimises him as champion.
Take that wax in your ears, that one.
Both these.
Yeah, exactly. On Sunday as well, very much looking forward to seeing the return of the surgeon, Ben Whittaker, as well. He was on flying form yesterday at the public workout, Andy.
Yeah, he was. He always is. It's always good to see him. We just need to see him more.
Yeah.
We just need
but
to
I think
see
that's
more
been
activity.
his frustration, isn't it? It's
of
not
course.
been the start to his professional career that he wanted.
No, and it's been due to injury. It's not been due to any fault of his. But we need to see him regularly, because he's a very good fighter already. The ability level is right up there. And anyone you talk to about him from way back in the early days, they all say the same thing. And they all say the same thing about his work ethic and his mentality as well. He likes to do things like the way he likes to do them. Not everybody will like it, but it's not grounded in any kind of delusion. He knows what boxing is, and he knows what needs to be done in the gym to succeed on the night. He knows what can happen in there. He's got an acceptance of that, and that's absolutely crucial.
And I think Ben's well aware that he is a bit Marmite, isn't he? But as long as he keeps producing the goods in the ring, that's all right. And like Andy said, you just need the momentum. He needs to be out there regularly.
He plays up to it. But like I said, look, I think you can't fault his ability. I don't think anyone can fault his work ethic and all that. It's a shame he's been injured, but again, that's nobody's fault. That's just sport, isn't it? But we do, fingers crossed now, he stays injury-free and he can crack on and progress quickly, because there's no doubt about his talent.
But someone like Ben, him being injured, he's not going to sit on his laurels, is he? He's been working with Sugar Hill in the gym. He's been honing his skills and making himself even better for his return.
My fear for Ben is, because he gets injured, that means his body's a bit brittle. So, and this is at this stage of his career. He's got a long way to go in this career, and my fear is he has all the talent and all the ability, but will his body stick with him, stay with him to get to the very top? That's my fear. I've seen so many potential champions fall by the wayside because of injuries that have hampered their career. So Ben needs to make sure he gets things done quick, get things done fast.
But the right way.
The right way.
Yeah.
So I think Ben needs to be saying, I want to be British champion. I want to be fighting for the British title within 12 months. After that, I want to be fighting for the European title within 12 months. He hasn't got time to wait because his body's not holding up. And so we've got to enjoy him while he's here. And I think this guy is stardust.
Yeah, he's certainly a star in the making, isn't he? Someone who I really enjoyed watching yesterday on the stream, who really surprised me with what she said, was Lauren Price. She has got the bit between her teeth, and she's very much a woman on a mission and wants the big fights in 2024.
Yeah, she is, and it was good to hear her say that, because I always like fighters who don't really say that much. I think sometimes people look at them and feel like they lack confidence, and for me it's often completely the opposite. Often the fighters who don't say a lot because they're that confident, they don't really feel the need to. But I think what she knows now is that in this boxing business, you need to stick your head above the parapet and say what you really think every now and again, and she did that yesterday, and it was great, because why shouldn't she think that? Why shouldn't she think that she can beat the winner of Natasha Jonas against Michaela Mayer? She's an Olympic champion, a world champion, a European champion, a Commonwealth champion. She's done absolutely everything. I was all for that.
Well, she faces Sylvia Bordeaux, who has, of course, been the distance with Michaela Mayer on Sunday. So it'll be a good yardstick for Lauren, and a good sort of see where she's at.
A perfect yardstick, and I echo what Andy said. When I heard those words come out of her mouth yesterday,
you like that, though,
don't you? I had a bit
you?
of a jig. I went, yes, now we're talking, because both fighters, and look, I love both fighters, Michaela and Natasha, will not give her a sentence. They'll say, yeah, I saw what she said, and move on, because they know she's dangerous. She potentially is the heir apparent. So the last thing they want to do is fight her, because she's in a position, she's young, she's fresh enough, she's hungry enough, she's determined enough, and has that belief to think, I can beat them. And those two fighters, why would they look back? So she's got to do stuff like she did yesterday, chomp at a bit, put him in a position, an embarrassing position, where they've got to fight her and they can't ignore her. Great fight, potentially.
Potentially, yeah, but at the moment she is a little bit high risk, low reward.
Yeah, and they know how good she is because they know what it takes to go and win Olympic gold, world gold, all these things. So yeah, but the strength and depth isn't there. She has got the backing of Sky Sports. She is an Olympic gold medalist. She is moving quickly. So
it's been so far so good, isn't it? Yeah. Every single time she's got better and proved herself, Andy.
Yeah, and the rankings are good as well. Yeah. So she'll be able to force that fight sooner or later anyway, even if it wasn't something that whoever won necessarily wanted to do next. But I feel like it will be, because it'd be a big fight. There'd be a lot of interest in it, and it'd pay well, which is always a big factor. But yeah, you look at the speed. You look at the speed she's got, and it's frightening. I feel like sometimes maybe she could just slow down a bit, because sometimes you just need to be quicker than your opponent. And if you're that much quicker, sometimes you've thrown a feint and worked off it before they've even seen it, let alone react to it. But
she's
that's a good problem to have,
though, isn't she?
Yeah. The experience level is huge, and you look at the background in other sports. She was playing international football for Wales when she was 17, 18.
On my shoulder, and so you lot better say nice things, because she's watching you hard. Give me that death stare. So just saying. I've got your back.
Right, she's just down there.
Similar to Ben Whitaker in the sense that she's getting on as well. She wants to move quickly. She's very experienced, got that pedigree, and she's not a spring chicken, so she does need to move quickly.
Yeah, let's talk about another local fighter, Lee Cutler. He's in action on Sunday night against Egbenike. Andy, how much are you looking forward to this one? What are you looking to see from Lee?
Well, he's sitting a few yards away in the front row as well. But I really liked what we saw from him last time when we saw him at the stadium at the end of May against Stanley Stannard.
He needed that performance, didn't he?
Fighter. He did, but Stannard was a good technical fighter, well honed, well schooled, and we saw something different from him. He boxed a patient fight, he boxed a disciplined fight. It was an eliminator, and he needed to get the win. You always need to get the win, but it just showed me that he's got that bit of maturity maybe that people might have thought he didn't have, because his nickname is Chaos, and it goes back a long time, but nicknames are impossible to shed. But he does like to have a fight, but at the same time, this is for an English title now, and he needs the win, and you go about it whichever way you need to go about it. But Egbenike has been waiting a long time for this. He won an eliminator at the end of last year. I saw him box in Minsk back towards the end of 2020 against a good fighter, and he got a draw on that card away from home, and he deserved the win. So he won't be in any way phased about coming here. I'm looking forward to that fight. It's a good fight.
It's the thing with nicknames, isn't it? You choose them at the very start, and then they stick with you. You can't do anything about it, can you? You don't really think down the line.
Macklin's had so many nicknames. None of them particularly flattering.
We move on. This is a slightly different sort of setup today. What do you think is going to happen between Chris and Masternak? I mean, so far they're very respectful, both of them, of each other, aren't they? Is that going to continue, do you think, today?
Yes, Masternak's not come to make the numbers up. I think each time he's around Chris, he grows in confidence and self-belief, and he gave a message to his home fans to basically saying, look, I'll be back as champion. And so I think this fight is going to be juicy. I think this fight is going to be brutal. I think it's going to be taxing on both fighters. I think Chris has been, his last two fights have been hard, tough fights, and I thought he's in another one again. So he needs a break, in regards to the tough fight. But for Masternak, he's going to fight tooth and nail, because he knows this is his last chance. So whatever he says here's the last time we're going to really hear him talk, really hear him sell himself. Then tomorrow he's got the weigh-in. After the weigh-in, that's it. That's it. This could be the back end of his big time fighting for him, because if he doesn't pull it off. So there's a lot at stake for both fighters. Bragging rights for Chris, and career-wise for Masternak.
And that's what I said to Andy, just how dangerous that could make Masternak, knowing that when it's kind of now or never, now's your chance.
I know. You know what? I actually think Masternak's going to win. And I hope I'm wrong. I think he's going to win. And so because I want that mature. Chris needs a career best performance to get rid of him. And when he does, if he does, then you've got to big him up to say well done, because I think Masternak he's too dangerous for Chris right now.
Matt, what do you reckon? Do you think Masternak's going to spoil the party?
Wouldn't shock me at all. I think Billam-Smith's going to have to be the best he's ever been, and maybe better than we've ever seen. He's got to agree at least the Okoli performance and some again.
Tactically, how does Chris do it then? What does he need to do?
Do you know, they're not dissimilar in the sense that they're both really solid all-rounders, but maybe don't do anything particularly spectacular. So I think it's going to be an absorbing, tough, hard 12-round fight. He's just got to win more rounds.
What do you think, Andy? I mean, you can give me a slight inclination on what you think is going to happen. I know you've got your commentator's hat on.
I think it's going to be good to watch. Masternak's been the distance a lot of times in hard fights, but Chris has been the distance in hard fights too. He's shown us that he can dig in when he needs to. I don't think anybody has any doubts about Chris's minerals, and that's the kind of thing that can be exposed by a fighter like Masternak. My question mark with Masternak is, as hungry as he will be, since he lost to Uniel Dorticos in season 2 of the World Boxing Super Series, that was 2018. So in 5 years since then, he's boxed 6 times and he's won them all. A couple of undefeated fighters in there as well, but that's not a high rate of activity, and none of them are Chris Billam-Smith. So this is the hardest fight he's had for 5 years. 5 years during which he hasn't boxed that much, and although he's obviously stayed in shape, he's been getting older. He has got more experience.
Maybe he's been saving himself.
He could have been saving himself.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's 2 ways you could go on it, aren't there?
This is the thing. He's got double the experience, double the amount of knockouts than Chris, and that could be another factor in the old pot, Johnny.
Sometimes, listen, Chris has got to elevate himself to a place where he's never been as a professional fighter. That's a fact. For Masternak needs to draw on all the experience he's had as a sparring partner from the likes of Dylan White. He's got to think, why are these heavyweights picking me? Because I'm tough, I'm grand, I've got experience. Why is nobody giving me opportunity? Because I'm one of the most avoided fighters on the circuit. And now he's got the opportunity, as far as he's concerned, to see the softest touch, as far as he's concerned, to get a world title fight. Why would he not grab this opportunity with both hands? And that's why I think this fight is on fire from the off.
One thing we haven't mentioned is Chris is obviously in the gym with Shane McGuigan, a gym that is absolutely flying at the moment. And again, we always say success breeds success. That's a factor in this as well.
Massively so. The camaraderie, there's the buzz. Everyone wants to be the king of the castle. You know, everyone wants that competition. You push each other on in all the training. So look, I think Billam-Smith is favourite for that reason. He's the more current fight, but like there's not a lot in that. There's not a lot in it. If this was abroad, I'd probably say Masternak the favourite. The fact that we're in Bournemouth, I think, gives Billam-Smith the edge.
It's going to be.
Who would you pick? I don't know if we've got time, but who would you pick if this was for a vacant title? Billam-Smith home advantage. Who would you pick?
Well, because we're here home advantage, I'd probably lean to Billam-Smith because we're in Bournemouth, and that crowd can get you over the line in a 50-50 tough fight, but it is a close one.
It's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to hearing what they've all got to say. As I said, slightly different setup. As you can see, they're ready to go. I feel like we're in a boy band lineup here. We're going to make our exit stage left and let these guys get on with it, and hand you over to Big Mo for the introductions.
Thank you, Anna. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to members of the media joining us again today, and good afternoon to our viewers joining us on Sky Sports. And welcome back to Bournemouth as we head towards this Sunday's World Championship matchup live on Sky Sports and NBC's Peacock around the world. I'd like to welcome to the stage the host of today's press conference, Mr. Andy Scott from Sky Sports, as well as the CEO and founder and the promoter for Boxer, Mr. Ben Shalom. We've ditched the tables and brought up some lovely chairs for all of our fighters that are attending today's press conference to sit in. We're going to bring them up a couple groups at a time, and we would like to start by welcoming Francesca Hennessy, Michael the Problem McKinson, Musa, Signora Wool Daddy Lawson, and Louis Edmondson to the stage. And as they're making their way up here, please make sure that you follow Boxer on all social medias, and make sure you follow Sky Sports for updates from today's press conference, tomorrow's weigh-ins, and the show on Sunday. And now, Mr. Andy Scott, the floor is yours.
Big Mo, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking time out your day to come down to Bournemouth. If you would have come yesterday, I think we all thought those days of Harry Ramsden's and ice creams down on the beach were long behind us. Other fish and chip restaurants are available in the local area. But Ben, it's always a pleasure to be down here. We're always made really, really welcome. And again, it's a big night for Sky Sports and Boxer on the South Coast.
Yeah, I have to be honest, when we first came to Bournemouth, I had to be persuaded by the McGuigans and Chris Billam-Smith to come down here. Boxing had never really been here in a big way at all. That first fight, Chris Billam-Smith against Isaac Chamberlain, for me that was the start. It was such a great fight. The city got behind Chris Billam-Smith in a way that I've never seen before. And since then he's gone on to achieve unbelievable things. I think when you look at that fight, to think that we're back here now for the 4th time, defending a world title. never mind challenging for one. It's been an incredible story, the way the fans get behind them. We could have sold this arena out maybe 5 or 6 times over. It sold out in about 2 weeks. So special to be back, a big night ahead, some big fights on the card, another test for Chris Billam-Smith. But yeah, we're delighted to be back in Bournemouth.
Brilliant. Well, I will pick your brains on each of the fights that we've got on this very stacked and talented undercard. But I'm going to start with Fran. Great to see you, Fran, smiling again. I mean, the smile and the ring walk and the dancing, it's sort of ingrained in our memory now. What a professional debut. How do you reflect on that whole experience? It's you set the bar pretty high, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, honestly, it was everything I could have ever imagined. It is unreal, you know. I do love a good dance, as everyone can tell, but yeah, no, it was everything I could imagine, and now it's just about keeping that ball rolling and keeping everyone's expectation very, very high of me.
I think I was on commentary with Matthew Macklin, and we both couldn't help ourselves but laugh, because it's very natural that people come and talk the talk, but people don't always walk the walk. But my word, you didn't just walk it, let's be honest. And the promotional video that your team put out of all the stars dancing at ringside, and the brilliant words from Spencer, Oliver and Savannah Marshall.
Definitely.
I think the scary thing from all of our points of view is Bradley Skeet, your trainer, said, look, you haven't even seen anything yet. We're scratching the surface. So is that the truth? Is there a lot more to come?
Definitely, there's so much more to come. You know, I watched my pro debut back. It was... Yeah, look, it was everything I could have imagined, but there's still things I didn't show in that what I can show. You know, I've got a lot more to give, and I think people are going to see that with every fight I have.
It was Sonia Close on your debut, and she had never been stopped. That is a mini statement. I think everybody gets. I don't want to use the term gimme because it's unfair, but everybody gets a little bit of a pass in terms of criticism or sort of analysis on their pro debut. But there was everything to like and nothing to dislike, and to make a little bit of a statement like that must have been. Left a good feeling.
Definitely, you know, I was very emotional at the end of it because I had so much pressure on me. But as I said before, pressure makes diamonds, and I shine under pressure every time. But yeah, no, I went in there nice and relaxed. I felt like I'd been in there 100 times before, and the stoppage came. I didn't go looking for it, it just came.
It's going to be difficult to better that. I mean, you only get one pro debut and it's always going to be special, but what have you got in store for us? What have you and Bradley Skeet taken away from that you've worked on that you want to try and show us on Sunday?
Oh, we've worked on so much. You know, I'm constantly learning. I love to learn. So, yeah, just expect fireworks every time I'm in that ring. Expect a bit of dancing, you know, a bit of showboating. That's what I'm there to do.
We had to sit Ben Shalom away from your dad because he was like, you know, you've got the keys to the car now. It's up to you. And you were delighted afterwards. You used pretty big words there. You know, you've been shocked by some pro debuts, and I know Mick, it's his daughter. He's obviously going to want the best for you. But I think everybody was blown away. That is the truth, including you, Ben Shalom.
Yeah, I mean, what a character. Unbelievable. I think we have a lot of fighters that turn over with us and debut with us. They might have been to the Olympics as well. It comes with nerves. It comes with pressure. It comes with a lot. So for Fran to take it in a stride the way she did, I couldn't believe it. It was everything that you could want from a debut, but also showed not only has she got the talent, the temperament, she wants to be on the stage, she wants to be on the big stage, she enjoys it. To see women's boxing where it is now, to actually having characters coming through at 18 years old is pretty special. Everything Mick's been telling me for the past couple of years was true and more, and it was amazing to see. I'm really, really excited to see where it goes. A special career ahead.
Before I let you go, I just want you to give us a final message, what we should look out for. But forgive me if I say Saturday at any point, because it's ingrained in our minds. So I may have already said it, but it's Sunday. Sunday is the night that everybody's going to be tuning in to Sky Sports. You're opening the show. What do you want to show everyone?
Trust me, I'm here to steal the show. You know, I'm a showboater. You'll see a lot of dancing, a lot of new moves, and yeah, just expect fireworks.
Yeah, well, best of luck to you and welcome back to the bright lights and the big stage. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
Louis, looking the part. The glasses are always on with these press conferences, and I'm a big admirer of sunglasses indoors because you have to be a certain type of character to pull it off. You are that type of character, I have to be honest with you. What are we looking for from you on Sunday? Great to have you back. The South Coast is a bursting scene of talent down here. You made no secret under the bright lights at the Vitality. You know, I want to be part of this scene, so you get another opportunity to showcase your skills.
Yeah, no, can't thank Boxer and my management, Boxing 365, getting me out again before the end of the year. I mean, I would have liked to have been out a little bit more. Obviously, we was out in May. It's been a little while. Obviously, We've been offered a few fights throughout the year. Ben Whittaker over to fight him. But yeah, I'm glad to be out before the end of the year, and hopefully that's a fight we can make.
Yeah, I'll come back to that, but just in terms of momentum, I think I'm right in saying, there were times where you didn't think you'd be professional boxing anymore. You had terrible injuries and setbacks. So is every fight that you have a bit more of a blessing, and now you're back doing what you love? Is it all the more satisfying just to be back out there and sort of proving a point? It would have been easy for you to walk away and not box again.
Yeah, I had a terrible injury. I had septicemia. Nearly killed me twice, to be honest with you. And boxing was kind of put to the back of my mind. I just needed to get better and get well and healthy before anything. So I'm glad to be over that now. Again, obviously said I haven't been as busy as I'd like to have been because of that. But I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm well, and I'm ready to push on now. We're not getting no younger either, so hopefully Ben can make some good fights for us, good domestic fights, and yeah.
Well, that leads us into where you started, the Ben Whittaker fight. Is it big domestic names you want? And I watched some interviews previously where you talked that fight up, but you said, maybe in the future. Are we in the future now? This is the time you want to get through this on Sunday, and that is the fight you want against Ben Whittaker?
We want that fight anytime. Anytime. Again, we've been asked a few times, a few different dates. We've accepted any date. We want any time, any place, anywhere. His backyard, here, Bournemouth, Southampton, anywhere. That's the fight that we want. I think now there's not enough domestic fights happening. It's like the public are not interested in some of the fights that we're having, but they want to see good domestic dust-ups, and that's what I want to give.
Why him particularly?
Because he thinks he's the golden goose. I think he's disrespectful to the backbone of the sport, who helped bring us through. I'd like to slap the smug look off his face.
OK, well, I'm sure he will have a right to reply later on, but great to have you on the card. Great
Cheers.
To see you again.
Thank you.
Let's flip back to this side. Michael McKinson, great. I feel like I'm copying and pasting here, but South Coast Boxing, big part of that. Portsmouth not too far away. Great to have you back on the card. I think I have told this story before, but you and your dad always make me laugh that when we were down here last on the pier, your dad grabbed me and he said, when we were over in America, we were to fight Virgil Ortiz, we were watching the Facebook streams and the live streams of all the Fight Week events. And yeah, you were in the biggest fight of your career and it was the right place for you. But from afar, watching it all unfold, you're like, I desperately want to be a part of that. And now you are?
Yeah, I'm only less than an hour down the road, so being a local lad, we're so blessed that big-time boxing's on the South Coast. And last year, like being in America, I was a bit jealous. And I really did want to be a part of this and be on these cards, so I'm so grateful I am.
Yeah, just talk about where you see yourself at the moment. Just the one defeat. You've really kicked on now. You're not a prospect anymore. You're an established contender. Got back-to-back stoppages as well. So it feels like everything's going in the right direction. What do you want to get out of Sunday? You've got to beat this man here first. And then what does the future hold for you?
I think this is the first important fight I've had since the Ortiz fight last year. I'm 30 in April and I've been a pro 9 years, over 9 years now, so I'm in the important years of my career. I don't want to waste any time now. I know this is all fights are must win, but this is a must win for me because I know it can open up even bigger fights. So I'm fully focused on Musa Lawson this weekend. I know I've got a job to do and I know I'm going to do it in style.
It's always an interesting dynamic with people like Musa because there isn't a hell of a lot of footage out there. There's word of mouth and there's BoxRec records. What do you know about him and what are you expecting from him? 11 wins, 9 knockouts. Looks like he can punch a little bit as well.
I've been in with punchers before. I've been in with all types of styles, tall, short. I've had this is my 27th pro fight, so it don't matter what he can bring. I know what I can bring. He's definitely going to be dangerous. He's going to give it everything, but I tell you now, everything's not going to be enough Sunday.
And there is a change of tact here. I think I'm in danger of repeating myself if you watched yesterday's footage and the open workout. But it is an interesting shift in mentality with you. I think everybody knows how much of a pure boxer you are. I think everybody knows how good you are, being quite frank to you. But you've had this change of tact where I don't know if it's like a penny dropping or if it's just you and your dad have got together. it's not just about the win now. If you can close the show and you can put on a performance, you're ready to do that now. It's not just coast and win on points. It's about getting people out of there. And Michael McKinson 2.0, we're calling it.
Yeah.
So what does 2.0 consist of?
Yeah, everyone knows I can box. Everyone knows I'm a smart fighter. But I came into this year with kind of a mission. I'm a realist. I know that people was labelling me as a non-puncher, this, that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to come into this year and I'm going to start stopping people. And I have 100% knockout ratio this year. And I plan on keeping that the weekend.
Brilliant. Well, wish you all the best of luck. Ben, I'll come back to you about this fight. Let's just hear from Musa. Musa, first time boxing outside of Ghana. Welcome to Bournemouth. It's nice out there today. Yesterday, not so good. So what's it like being in Bournemouth, and how are you finding it so far?
First of all, I'd like to say Alhamdulillah and Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Grateful to Allah for this great opportunity. And I thank Icon Boxing Promotion for this great opportunity as well. And the weather here, like you say, is good. I came here for like 1 week ago, and I think I'm okay for this fight.
Can you tell us a little bit about your career back in Ghana? Because there isn't too much to go on. The 11 fights, 9 knockouts. How would you describe your fighting style? You can obviously punch.
Okay, back in Ghana, I think I stayed a bit longer in the amateur team, over 10 years, and I just turned pro for like 3 years ago, and I have a national title. I'm a good puncher, like you said. I have skills, I have endurance, and I'll prove that to him on Sunday.
He's just said that he thinks that he can extend his knockout run and knock you out. What's your message to him?
I think he has got a bigger win here in UK, but I'm promising him I'm not coming here to end the run with him. I'm gonna knock him out.
And you were relatively unknown to us, certainly, I don't want to be disrespectful, but unknown to us coming into this. Is this your breakout night, your platform, and everybody is going to know who Musa Lawson is on Sunday night?
Yeah, I think so. But I've had a bigger and much more experience and bigger platform, like I said, in amateur level, and I don't think this is going to make me a bit nervous. I'm much more excited and excited for this fight, and I think on Sunday night I'm going to prove myself.
Brilliant. Well, we're really grateful to have you and wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Ben Shalom, just a couple of things to pick out there. Louis Edmondson, he's not holding back. The handbrake's off. There's a call out there, and he is a bit of a danger man.
He is. He's looking good as well. I like the shades in the inside as well. Look, he's got a big support. He was on our last Bournemouth show. I hope they'll behave on Sunday night always. And look, that light heavyweight division, we've got Joshua Buatsi against Dan Aziz in February, Shakan Pitters, Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard, Ben Whittaker wants to be up there. And Louis wants his name in the mix as well. And I don't blame him. He's a talented fighter. He impressed me last time. And there's some big domestic fights, as he said. We know who he wants. We'll see if we can make it next year, but he wants to be in the mix, and there's plenty of big fights to make.
And I think we're going to be saying credit to the matchmaker with this McKinson-Lawson fight. Both guys talking a really good fight, and lots of ingredients in there that, again, one of the fights that could steal the show.
Look, for me, Michael's the most talented welterweight in the country. I don't think anyone denies that. It's about how does he now, as you said, Michael McKinson 2.0, and I think the penny has dropped. I mean, we spoke before the stadium fight, and he knows now he wants to get people out of there. He's got the talent to do it. He can hit hard, and he's added that to his game. I think he's one that's going to be aiming for world titles in the next couple of years. But this is a tough fight. This is a fight, actually, that's come out of nowhere. Could be a bit of a banana skin, but get through Sunday night, and then we've got a big fight lined up for Michael. But as I say, most talented welterweight in the country for me.
There you go. Ben, thanks for now. Fran, Michael, Musa, Louis, that's you done for now. I'll hand back over to our Master of Ceremonies for today and Sunday, Big Mo.
Thank you all for joining us on stage. We're going to bring up the next group as this group makes their way off stage. I want to remind you all that this show is sold out on Sunday. However, you can still watch it live on Sky Sports and around the world on Peacock TV. And now let's bring up our second group to sit in the chairs here with Ben and Andy. This bout is for the vacant English Super Welterweight Championship. Introducing first to the stage from London, here is Kingsley Obi Egbunike, and his opponent from right here in Bournemouth. Please welcome Lee Chaos Cutler. Andy and Ben, back to you.
Nearly took a right hand there, and nearly an early knockout there for you. Nearly took my chin clean off. Ben, we like this fight.
Yeah.
Really, really good clash of styles.
Yeah.
Let's hear what both guys have to say, but presumably you're delighted to have this one on the card. Got local support, and Obi's coming to cause some problems as well.
Great fight, potentially fight of the night. I remember you from our tournament. He's come on a lot since, and Lee Cutler has been building a following here, so it's almost a crossroads fight. It's a must-win fight for both of them. English titles always deliver, and I think Lee will be wanting to make a statement, a performance, first time with the McGuigan gym as well, but I feel this is going to be a tough fight. I really believe both guys believe they're going to be victorious on Sunday night. I think both of them are going to go for it from round one, and yeah, fight of the night for me.
This is interesting. Let's go to Lee first. Ben saying tough fight. Do you see this as a tough fight against Obi?
I think if I overlook Obi on the night, yeah, it can be a tough night. But I know what I've been doing in the gym, day in, day out. Just moved to the McGuigan gym. We're just going through their record, and it is unbelievable. The fighters that they've lost to, because there's no point saying about the fighters they've won, because there's too many fights to go through. But it's just ridiculous. That puts a little bit of pressure on me, to be honest.
Is that not a nice pressure? You know, you
yeah,
don't
nice pressure.
Don't want to let yourself down, but now you're representing the gym as well.
It's, yeah, incredible pressure, and I'm really thankful to be in a gym like that. And on Sunday night, I'm going to thrive, and you're going to see everything I've been doing. Sorry, guys. Let's just give the fighters a little bit of respect here. Can I ask you about the link-up with Josh Pritchard? So, was a very good fighter in his own right. Let's not take that away from him. But early days in his training career as well. Can you give us an example of something that you've been working on that you hope to produce under the bright lights? Just every aspect of my game. Stuff that I didn't do against Stanley Stannard at the stadium. Everything like that. Obviously, I've still got a long way to go. But it's clicked just at the right time. The style that they're bringing on for me, and I can't wait to show. I don't want to say too much, but afterwards people will be saying, what a move. What about hometown expectation? Is it hometown pressure, or is it like that 12th man in football? You have a really good fan base, really get behind you. You have an entertaining style as well, which lends itself to your sort of fan base. Is it a pressure? Is it a good pressure, or do you have to make sure that you don't box for the crowd, you have to box for yourself? I don't believe it's a pressure. I boxed in front of nearly 15,000. It was probably 3/4 full by the time I boxed against Stanley Stannard, against an undefeated fighter that a lot of people picked to beat me. He had a better amateur record than me, and so yeah, that was pressure. That was a make or break fight, and this is another make or break fight. But I believe I've done all the learning and everything I need to do in the gym to beat Kingsley. Obi, thanks for joining us up here. Ben's already mentioned that you two have worked together before. You've also boxed away before, not afraid to go to sort of enemy territory, and there's no denying, you know, he's going to have hometown support, a Bournemouth lad. Presumably that's exactly how you like it.
Yeah, I perform well, so it doesn't matter to me where I go.
What do you make of Lee Cutler, and what does he do well that you have to be careful of?
He's got good fundamentals, good boxer.
What about yourself? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you think you're going to bring to the table, what we need to look out for?
Well, I'm a great boxer, so we'll leave it to the night.
You're a very good amateur yourself, won the Haringey Box Cup Gold, I think, and boxed for All Stars. Yeah. You mentioned Lee's fundamentals. You possess good fundamentals as well?
Yeah, I possess great fundamentals.
What do you think will be the difference between you and him when that first bell rings?
We'll see on the night.
And what does a win do for you in your career? English title. I think Ben is right in what he says here. English titles, it just brings out something different. I think we're always delighted when we see English title on the card, because very rarely do those fights under-deliver. In fact, most of the times they over-deliver.
It boosts my career big time. So it boosts me up the ladder.
Ben, a word on both guys. You mentioned Obi, the fact that he was in the Ultimate Boxer, and you know what he's all about. But you know Lee as well, part of the Vitality Stadium bill on the Chris Billam-Smith undercard. When you say fight of the night, you think this one could be fireworks?
I think so. Look, for Lee, he needs to show his level now. You know, a lot of people talk about Lee Cutler and he's a popular lad, but he'll want to show that he's above English level. This is the fight to prove it. I think it's going to be a tough night. He'll have to show that he's improved, but the last performance against Stanley Stannard impressed me as well. Stanley was coming in here, as you said, with more experience. He had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's going to be looking at the BIC on Sunday, wanting to fill it out himself one day. He's got a huge fan base here, so I think it's time for Lee to make a statement. But I'm not writing off Kingsley. I know he's worked very hard to be here since that tournament, and he'll be well up for it on Sunday.
Have you two got a final message for each other? Feel free to address each other now.
I just hope he brings his best on the night. No excuses afterwards. There'll be no excuses from me. I want to fight at the night contender like I did last time. Yeah.
No excuses from me. I'm coming.
Okay, may the best man win. Thank you very much for joining us. Big Mo, back to you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you to Kingsley and Lee for joining us on stage. We're going to move to our next group. Real quick, I do want to give a thank you to our headline partner, Bet365, and our official partners, Everlast, Wow Hydrate, Integritas Property Group, and Who Dares Gyms. And now to our next group, joining Andy and Ben on stage. First, I want to welcome the former European champion, Sylvia Borteau. And I also want to welcome her opponent, the Olympic gold medalist, the MBE, and the first ever women's British champion, Lauren Price. Andy, Ben, back to you.
Thanks, Mo. Just gives everybody a second to take their seats. Hey, good to see you, good to see you. Ben, it's no secret here, the progression of Lauren Price is on a real upward trajectory.
Yeah.
Again, looks like sensible matchmaking because we know Sylvia, we know her pretty well from her last fight here with Michaela Mayer, where she extended Mayer for some good rounds. So in terms of this fight, what are you expecting to see?
Look, we were really impressed with Sylvia against Michaela Mayer. I thought it was a lot closer fight than the scorecards suggest, and she was an aggressive fighter, and that's what we want for Lauren. For me, Lauren will believe that she's the best welterweight in the country, never mind the world, and so she's worked hard. It's been a 18 months where there's so much expectation and there's so much promise. And this for Ron McCracken and Lauren, they know what talent they possess, and they could probably feel that they could go right into the big fight straight away. She's bordering on that now. This is a yardstick where we can compare how Lauren does with Michaela Mayer. She'll be looking at Mayer Jonas on January the 20th and thinking, that's where I want to be. Those are the fights that I want to be in. But to have a talent like this, for women's boxing to have a talent like this, a gold medalist, the most decorated amateur that this country has ever seen, is very, very exciting. But she'll want to put on a special performance on Sunday. It's the first real test of her career, and I think she's going to show how good she is.
And before Lauren has her say, I don't know if you saw our social media clips yesterday, Lauren Price called out everybody, and it was super confident, and it was great to hear. Do you think now that if she gets past Sylvia, that it will be those big fights next? It will be the winner of Jonas and Mayer? How likely is that?
When you've got an extremely talented fighter, everyone in boxing knows it, and I know every time Lauren's name is mentioned to any other fighters in her division, it's not a fight that anyone's calling for. I think everyone knows how good and talented Lauren is. I'm not surprised she's already calling out those names, but she wants a long career. I believe we're going to see a multi-weight world champion here, and so yeah, those are the names that she wants. She'll have to make a statement on Sunday, but Natasha Jonas, Michaela Mayer, the winner of that. I think Sandy Ryan as well, Jessica McCaskill. That whole weight division is bustling with talent, and Lauren believes she's the best of the lot, and I can't wait to see her in those fights next year.
Lauren, great to see you. Enjoyed talking to you yesterday. How does that sound when Ben puts that to you? It feels like we're throwing more and more at you now, and you seem to be absorbing it and accepting it and enjoying it. How do you feel that you're progressing, and what do you think that you can show us on Sunday? Ben's already said it's probably going to be used as a yardstick. How Michaela Mayer did against Sylvia will be compared to you. It is the natural comparison.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's a step up again. I just look at it as I'm a completely different fighter to Mayer, and I think I'll prove that on Sunday. I know, obviously, Sylvia, she's game, she's tough, but I believe I'm a level above, and I plan, to have another solid performance on Sunday then, and pushing on for a big 2024.
Do you feel that you're finding your feet in more ways than one in the pro game now, that it does take that little bit of time, but now we're starting to see the real Lauren Price, especially in your last performance?
Yeah, definitely. My last performance, obviously, boxed a girl with an 18-1 record, you know, with 10 knockouts. And each fight I've stepped up. And I think the most important thing this year, I've been active. It's my 4th pro fight this year. Obviously, this is my 6th pro fight, but I've had 4 fights this year. And when I'm active and, you know, I've been in the gym, that's when I'm at my best. And I just want to, you know, keep that momentum. And like I said, put on a great performance on Sunday, show what I'm about, and then move on into 2024. And like I keep saying, I won the winner of Mayer and Jonas.
Yeah, and Sylvia's going to be sitting here thinking that we're being incredibly disrespectful about talking about the next one. But it is great to hear you talk like that. It is great to hear you call those names out. It's not easy when it's not in your nature to be outspoken like that, but you are calling them now.
Yeah, I got respect for everyone, you know, and even obviously Sandy yesterday on social media, you know, me and Sandy are friends, but something in this pro game is a business, and when you want to be the best, it's just part of it. Everyone knows me, you know, I'm laid back, I'm chilled, but a bit of talking got to be done. So yeah, you know, I believe in myself, and I spoke the truth yesterday. And like I said, not looking past Sylvia on Sunday. I know I got a job to do, and I'll perform Sunday, and then 2024, that's when I want them big fights.
2024, do you think Lauren Price becomes world champion?
Oh, without a doubt. I think it's a question of when. I think it's a question of how many. You know, she's a phenomenal athlete, a pleasure to work with. You look at Katie Taylor and the impact she's had and the love that they have for her in Ireland. I think we're going to see some special nights in Cardiff as well. And yeah, can't wait for next year.
Thank you, Lauren. Sylvia, I'm going to speak as slowly and clearly as I can because I know English is not your first language, but welcome to...
Sorry for my bad English, no? I speak better of spaghetti, pizza, mafia, no? Mandolino, it's better for me. No problem.
Okay, I'll try and help as best I can. What do you know about Lauren Price, and what do you want to show us on Sunday?
Yeah, Lauren is a good fighter. It's Olympic champion, and for me, it's a great experience. It's again in UK, and I'm very happy to stay here. And Lauren, for me, is so strong. Than Mayer, I think so, because I like your style of boxing. I like too much.
May I ask you about the Michaela Mayer fight? You were very competitive in that fight. How do you think that fight will be different to the Lauren Price fight?
Well, Lauren has another style of boxing. She is a southpaw, and Michaela changed the weight, no, in the last year. Yeah. And the punch of the Michaela is not too strong for me. For me, I think so. And Lauren, I want to fight with Lauren. For me, it's a great experience to taste my level of boxing now, because I'm old boxer. Lauren is too young from me.
Can we just give Sylvia a round of applause? Tremendous effort. Thank you very much.
You.
Grazie mille.
I'm sorry.
Not at all. No, it's incredible. Great effort.
I would like to make a world title here in UK. I like UK people, UK boxer. Is very good. Italy is too small, not to yet like in UK, the boxer.
Well, if you win on Sunday, then you can come back and fight for a world title.
I won't win.
Okay.
Yeah, but good fight. Good luck.
Good luck to you as well. Thank you very much for coming. Great effort with the English as well. Thank you very much. Mo, that's this one done. So hand back over to our Master of Ceremonies, Big Mo.
Perfect. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Lauren, for joining us on stage. Thank you, Andy and Ben. And once again, for all of you that are here and are watching, make sure you follow Boxer social medias as well as Sky Sports social medias for live updates throughout Fight Week. Obviously, the weigh-ins are tomorrow, and we move towards Fight Night Live right here in Bournemouth at the Bournemouth International Center on Sunday evening. And now let's bring up the fourth group here to the stage. And Some of these people don't even really need an introduction, but I'll do it anyway. First, please welcome Stephen Leonetti Dredaj. And also, please welcome the Olympic silver medalist, Ben the Surgeon Whitaker. And on the side of Ben Whitaker, his coach from Detroit, Michigan, our friend, Sugar Hill Stewart. Andy, Ben, back to you.
Okay. Good to see both of you. Ben, I'll start with you. Just don't want to interrupt the conversation going on here. Talking business, I hear. Ben, great to see you. I mean, I do mean that as well. Great to see you because we've seen you doing some punditry and being at the shows, but there's nothing like actually seeing Ben Whitaker plying his trade, and it's great to have you back after a frustrating time, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. Bit of a nuisance, stop from the start, but Sunday we're back at it, and then 2024, get the ball rolling again.
Yeah, what do you want to show us more than anything on Sunday?
There's many things I can show. I've showboated, I've done this, done that. Sunday, maybe I might just come out and break him down and get him out of there, who knows? We'll see Sunday.
So I'm right in saying you two do know each other?
Yeah, we sparred. I was paying him to come down to spar.
Yeah,
and
bro,
then,
but wait, sorry. Yesterday you say you pay me for the spar. You don't never pay me.
Yeah, because you're getting a bigger payday Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So put the mic back down.
Okay. Put your seatbelt on, Ben. Put your seatbelt on. So did you spar, and what happened when you sparred?
I asked for 8. He left doing 6. That's all I know.
What? Repeat.
He said that you asked for, he was expecting to do 8 rounds, but you only did 6.
No, he told me we do 6 rounds because we have another guy who spar with me after. So, okay, no worries. I have what say no? It's not true.
Hey bro, it's alright man. The fight's scheduled for 8.
You know, don't worry, you know.
It's alright bro, man. Just put the mic back.
We know.
I mean, while we're on it, I might as well ask you, how was the spar? You obviously don't fear him to get in on Sunday under the bright lights.
If I'm getting paid like that, I wouldn't fear me either, man. You know what I mean?
I show you Sunday.
Yeah, please do. It's called the Italian Job Sunday, man.
Okay.
Sugar, were you there?
Hello.
Hello, Sugar. Were you there? Can you shed some light and truth on this? Because we love a sparring story on Sky Sports. I mean, we've sold the biggest events based on one spar, so we might as well not break the habit of a lifetime.
Well, the one should be up here actually is Joby, because Joby's been working closely with Ben while I've been away. So I was asking for another chair, and yeah, so if he can come up here, he could shed some light on the subject.
Hey, don't worry, man. We've got the camera footage as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
That's where we're going, is it?
Exactly.
Great to see you, though, Sugar, over here. I mean, Ben's been frustrated because he hasn't had the momentum. From your point of view, how have you kept his mood positive, that everybody goes through these periods of injury and it's about just overcoming them and then kicking on? I know from conversations behind closed doors he's wanted to kick on, but his body hasn't quite let him. That's behind him now, I'm told. What have you been saying to him to reassure him?
Just that, these injuries happen, things happen in life. In all major sports, seriously competitive athletes have injuries. And, the last situation was a hand injury in which, as a boxer, you have to learn how to punch at certain targets. Hitting the elbows and top of the heads and things like that are going to have more damage to the hand than anything. So it's just about punch placement and, like slowing things down, speeding it up just to get those punches and find the openings. So during this time, like I said, Joby's been with him, training him for most of the time, because he was hitting the bag. From what Ben told me, he was hitting the bag and doing things, and he tried to spar and had some kind of feeling in his hand still, and had to slow down and then speed back up again. And this is where we are now, so everything seems to be fine. And Ben and Joby have been working together closely, and yeah, I'm excited about Sunday. Joby's been with him since he was amateur, so yeah, they got a great relationship, and it just makes everything a little bit more complete.
Okay, shout out to Joby Clayton, who I know is here. Good to see you. Let's let's circle back round. So you obviously got the call about this fight. Do you know much about Ben Whittaker? Do you care ultimately, or is it about yourself? Into the microphone.
No, myself. No. Repeat, sorry.
Everybody knows about Ben Whittaker's profile and his reputation, but do you care about that, or is it about yourself?
No. All the pressure is on him, not on me. Everybody think, I don't know, I'm not at the level maybe, I don't know. We see Sunday, but I don't have pressure, no pressure. I'm okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about your boxing career and what we can expect from you?
Okay, what do you want to say about my career?
Oh, tell us a little bit about your fighting style, what we can expect.
We have a similar style with Ben, so we see Sunday. I don't want to say nothing more.
He's known for his flashy style and his showboating. Will that affect you at all? Are you bothered by that?
No. Okay. I don't want to talk.
You think you can knock him out?
No, I don't know. We dance, I think. We dance Sunday. We show to how to dance.
You're shaking your head.
I just don't get, when you're in Wolverhampton, you're speaking good English, man. You're acting a little bit dumb right now. Just tell them what you're going to do Sunday. And just let the people know the cameras are here. This is your moment to talk.
I don't want to talk now. I just want to show Sunday what we do.
Please do.
Sure.
I've got to be honest with you, I wish you were happy to talk now. It makes it a much better press conference, but I know you're in fight mode, so I'll come back to...
Because my English is not very good, so sometimes I lost the point, so I prefer to talk with my hand Sunday.
What does a win do for your career? Where does a win take you in your career? If you beat Ben Whittaker, then what? Onto European level? Where do you see yourself going?
I want a belt. I want a belt after this fight. I don't know. We see after. I prefer. I'm focused on Sunday tonight. So.
Same question to you. What are you looking to show us on Sunday? I mean, Stephen says he doesn't fear you, knows exactly what to expect. So he's got a similar style to you as well, which is not that easy. You are unique in that regard. So, what are you expecting from him?
Yeah, hopefully he's not fearful, because he'll make a better fight. I want him to come, bring the fight, try and bring something out of it that no one else has. And after I beat him Sunday, 2024, we look on, up, not down.
It's not lost on me that he's not the only fighter that's been realistically calling your name today. You were in the room.
I got a little fanboy brigade out today, man. It's kind of cute.
Louis Edmondson was very clear in what he wants to do, win on Sunday, and then he wants that fight. What did you make of that?
I don't know who he is, and I don't know what he was saying. So he needs to focus on Sunday with his little 8-4 opponent, and then we'll see what happens next year.
Let me bring in promoter Ben Shalom. I think your frustration, you share Ben's frustration that he hasn't exactly had the momentum, because every time we've seen him, it's been headline stuff, it's been brilliant showmanship, left a real good impression, but there perhaps just hasn't been enough of it. He's been crippled by small injuries and niggling injuries. What's your hopes for Sunday and then into 24?
Yeah, it's been difficult for him. I remember being in Bournemouth last year, and his debut was phenomenal. Everyone was talking about him, everyone was asking about him, and they still are. And I think what I've seen in the time that he's had to go through has given me more confidence that he's going right to the top of the sport. It's been incredible to see, to be honest, the dedication to the sport. He might come out and be the showman on the night, but that's because he loves it. He works hard. I think he'll even become out better from this. He won't leave any stone unturned going forward. So I think he'll look back on this as a blessing for his career. I really do. I think he's had to learn a lot about himself mentally, physically, and to come back and have the maturity to go, you know what? I'm going to take a few months out of the ring. I'm going to wait. I'm going to come back 100%. This isn't going to affect me when I get to the titles, when I get to British, European and world level. I think it's been the right decision. It's great to have him back now. We want to have him out 4 or 5 times next year. And when we talk about superstars of British boxing, this is the next one, without a doubt.
Sugar, it's still early in Ben's career, and in that regard, it's still early in your relationship, less than 5 fights, or this will be fight number 5. What do you want to see from him more than anything on Sunday?
Well, just some of the things that, shows growth And I guess one of the questions everyone's been asking me is like, what's next for Ben? But we don't know until we see him on Sunday. So it's per fight, with Ben Whittaker. I believe that, he's a very, very talented, superstar in boxing, and that it just takes a matter of time. But not saying it takes a long time, but it's just the right time.
Okay, have you two got a final message for each other?
There's one more thing I wanted to say.
You go
Actually,
ahead.
I'm not a big talker, but Ben Shalom was just giving it to us for a moment. I just want to say big ups to his speech he gave. You should have asked him in the beginning. That would have cleared up a lot of things.
Why was I last?
Can't keep anyone happy up here, you know what I mean? So help me out over here. Is everyone said what they want to say, or do you want to address each other?
Yeah, there's no words now. We'll have a little face-to-face, look into each other's eyes tomorrow. Might fall in love, who knows? But Sunday is where the job starts. And good luck to him. There's no qualms there. He's just in my way.
What I would say is there was no hesitation from you to take the fight. He is confident on Sunday, very confident. And I think when we asked him, he had a little smile and he thought, you know what, this is my opportunity, this is my chance. That's what we want for Ben, so I expect a good fight on Sunday.
Okay, well, if anybody else has got anything they want to declare? No? In that case then, back to you, Big Mo.
Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Sugar Hill. As these guys clear off the stage, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the show on Sunday is sold out, but you can watch it live on Sky Sports and NBC's Peacock TV. All right, it is time to bring up the two individuals that headline this bill. The names at the top of the bill, live this Sunday here in Bournemouth. Boxer Ben Shalom has brought boxing back to Bournemouth. We've done 3 shows here, all of them sold out, including selling out the Vitality Stadium. And now we look to close out the year with a great championship bout here at the Bournemouth International Center on Sunday night. I want to introduce first the challenger, who is joined by his promoter, Jacek Szczegalkowski, the former WBA and IBO Intercontinental Champion, the former WBC International Champion, and the former European Cruiserweight Champion. From Poland, please welcome the Master, Mateusz Masternak. And now, the defending champion. He is joined by his world-renowned trainer and coach, Shane McGuigan. He is from right here in Bournemouth, England. Please welcome the former British, Commonwealth, and European Cruiserweight Champion. And now, the reigning, defending WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Please welcome the gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith. Andy and Ben, let's close it out.
Mo, thanks very much. I'm going to go straight to Ben Shalom for this one because I think when this was announced, everybody raised an eyebrow, but it was also a reaction of happiness because this is a real quality world title fight between 2 quality operators, and there's nothing better than a hometown hero defending their belt in front of an expectant crowd.
Yeah, I mean, what a journey. To be defending a world title is pretty incredible back in Bournemouth. We made the deal with KO Promotions and Jacek a long time ago, and the way we looked at it is just a great fight. Chris Billam-Smith, sometimes watching you as a promoter, you think, be a bit smarter, be a bit cleverer, don't take the shots, but he knows only one way, and he gives us entertainment every single time. And after the last performance, we wanted a great fight. Masternak's done the same throughout his career. Never fought for a world title before. It's almost remarkable to think about that. But he's performed so well in recent fights, and to only have 2 losses on his record in 57 is pretty special as well. And so I expect a great fight. I know Masternak's been preparing for this for a long time. I know the team are ready for this. This is their moment. But I know that Chris wants to show he's at world level, and he's here to stay at world level. He's here to stay as a world champion. This is the moment where he proves to people he's at world level. Lawrence Okoli wasn't just one fight in front of 15,000 fans. This is Chris Billam-Smith proving dominance at the division, and it's going to be a special night on Sunday.
Before we come to the fighters, I'll just invite Jacek to say a few words as well from the Team Masternak side about the deal getting done and how happy you are as a team to be over here in Bournemouth.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacek Szelongowski and I represent Knockout Promotions, the biggest and the oldest boxing group in Poland. First of all, I would like to thank to the whole boxer team, especially to Ben, to John and to Al. I think our relationship is special, is unique. We have done a couple of fights together, important fights. But I think our April gala in Rzeszów was a truly turning point in our relationship, and I think this is very important for us, and we will do our best to continue it. We are happy that we are here in this nice city. Everything until now is perfect. We are in a beautiful hotel on the cliff, so until now everything is perfect. Thank you very much for everything. I have to say that we are happy that our opponent Chris is a gentleman because Mateusz is also a very good man. He's a father of 3 children. He's a good husband and he's a professional soldier. We are really proud of him, and we are happy that he is in our team, Knockout Promotion.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, I think we all echo those words. You couldn't meet 2 better representatives for the sport of professional boxing, and I'll come to the champion. Chris, welcome home as world champion. Homecoming, first defence in a tough night. I don't think we've made enough of the fact that those in the trade, those in the know just how tough this is. It's not lost on you that you have to be on your A game, no slip-ups, but at the same time it must be an incredibly proud moment to wear that WBO belt and ring walk as a world champion for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the dream was always to win a world title at the stadium. I got the opportunity to do that, but even before then we worked for years to get shows down here, and now we've had 4 back-to-back, and it's been a great team with, you know, Boxer, Sky and ourselves, and to all done our part to do that, you know, and obviously the fans that have turned out and created that amazing atmosphere that everyone loves. So yeah, amazing feeling to be back here. I can't wait to be walking out Sunday as defending champion.
Boxers' mentalities fascinate me. In the ring afterwards, and I heard you describe it very eloquently on the George Groves podcast, where you were talking about, in the ring afterwards, I said, how do you ever top this? And you said, you can't top it, but it doesn't mean that you can't make different memories and make a different experience. So how do you think that you will feel at the top of the ramp, you know, with the ring walk track and the fans and the way that it is set up at the BIC? It is going to be unique and special. Can't really compare it to the Vitality, but it will be a different sort of positive.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, people don't just have the best, you know, time of their life and then just give up on life. That's not how it works. People don't just go to a gig once and go, that was amazing, but I'm not going to go again. So it's, for me, it's you know, I'm a very proud champion, and now I want to cement that legacy. And Sunday night walking out in front of that crowd, I just know it gives me goosebumps now just thinking about it and talking about it. The fans have always been incredible, and that place just holds the noise so well. And I don't even think, you know, as long as his career has been and as many big fights he's had, I don't think he would have ever experienced an atmosphere like it.
One of the reasons I think that we've learned to love you on Sky Sports particularly, and Shane McGuigan won't thank me for saying this, particularly at the BIC, you're never in a bad fight down there, and you are the definition of a TV-friendly fighter in that regard. We don't complain, but we expect that you're going to have to go through some pretty hairy moments if you're going to keep hold of this title. You know, in an ideal world, you'll come through with no scratches, no grazes. But I think you're a realist as well, that he's in this position because he's a tough quality operator. Are you expecting a very tough night and, you know, you'll hope not, but a couple of scares along the way?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's, as a fighter, you can't just prepare for a plain sailing night, especially against someone so experienced and so talented as Masternak. So it's the way we prepare, but the way I've been in camp has been fantastic. So a huge amount of confidence in whatever situation I'm in the ring. Even through any hairy moments, as shown before, I can come through them. And I think that's what makes me so much more confident and makes me such a great fighter.
makes great copy, but is it true when you get the belt, it gives you that extra sort of 10% and you carry yourself as a champion and you grow with it?
Yeah, I feel like I've grown in confidence, but you know, it's I mean, it's probably better for Shane to say, but I feel like you just have that belief in the process because it's all the hard work was worth it. But yeah, I'm sure Shane can give you more of the other side of things, of the technical side, and if I've got any better.
Yeah, well, I'll come to it. If you just give us one more, and I'll make light of it, but you don't do things by halves. I mean, every time we've been down here, you've had some sort of chaos in your life outside of the ring that you're doing at the same time. I think you were completing on the house. I think your son was being born. You were very unwell last time we were here. There was always something going on. Has it been peace and tranquility this time, or is it chaos out there?
I mean, to be honest, last December was all right, as far as I can remember. So, yeah, now and again there's stuff, but that's life, and it's. I'm very, very fortunate to be in the position I'm in, and I'm very grateful for that. So, to have the support I've got, it doesn't matter what gets in the way. You can't let a support like that down. So, and just like last time, I won't be doing that on Sunday.
Shane, do you mind if I ask you, using that crowd as a positive, or are you? I'm always fascinated with a big hometown crowd like that. Is it forget the crowd and box for yourself? Which way will it be?
Oh, no, you got to fight like Chris. He thrives off the crowd, you know. And I think the last one, 15,000 people, but it was outside. Sometimes the noise was lost, and it wasn't the best fight. You know, there was a lot of ups and downs in the fight, lots of points taken off. So that kept it exciting, but it got a little bit samey in parts. But this is like keeps all of the noise in. Masternak doesn't know how to hold. He doesn't know how to hold. The two of them are going to be lumping each other. Two hard men, and you know, I think it's going to be a very hard fight for us. But we're going to have to be very strategic on the way and make sure we pick up enough rounds and get the victory.
And the question you were talking about there, has he grown as he's become world champion? Have you noticed a difference in him at all?
Yeah, definitely. He's always looking for little small improvements, and you know, for Chris, it's as he says, it's mainly just the confidence, knowing that he can do the rounds, knowing he can do the 12 rounds, knowing how to manage the rounds at world level as well, not just, you know, at European level or below. So, you know, Masternak's a fantastic fighter. He's only lost once since Tony Bellew, which was in end of 2015, and that was to Dortikas, who went on to become a world champion. So those two losses were, you know, both ended up being world champions and good ones at that. So we know we're in for a hard night's work. You know, he's 36, I think, maybe 37, but you know, he's kept himself in great shape, and Chris is 33, kept himself in great shape. So I genuinely believe they're both in the primes of their career, and I think it's going to be a fantastic fight.
Mateusz, welcome. We think that this is going to be a very, very good fight for the fans. Two styles that should gel and make a real entertaining spectacle. Why do you win this fight? What is the key to victory for you?
Hello everyone. Maybe better will be my friend translation, because I'm every time stay in gym, no in school. So, moja droga trwa naprawdę bardzo długo i widziałem w boksie naprawdę wiele. I uważam, że ten czas, obóz, od kiedy wyszło, że będę walczył o Mistrzostwo Świata, jest jakiś magiczny. Uważam, że cała ta moja podróż jest owiana jakąś magią i wierzę głęboko, że 10 w niedzielę ta noc będzie wyjątkowa, specjalna, szczególna, a ten pas będzie na moich biodrach.
So my journey in boxing is for a long time. I believe the preparation for this fight was magical. I believe on 10th of December the WBO belt will be mine.
Inaczej. Umówiliśmy się z moją żoną, że będziemy mieć trzecie dziecko. Żona mi powiedziała, że jak będziesz chciał mieć trzecie dziecko i to będzie córka, to tylko i wyłącznie wtedy, jak zostaniesz mistrzem świata. Moja córka już ma teraz 5 lat, więc nie mogę zawieść teraz ni żony, ni swojej córki.
We have a deal with our wife, with my wife. So we said that if I want a third baby, I have to become a world champion. Now my daughter, she's 5, so I have to keep my promise.
So it doesn't work. You haven't got to have a fourth child.
Czy to znaczy, że będziesz miał 4. dziecko, czy nie?
It's not an immediate no.
Nie dlatego, że swój sprzęt już wyniosłem na strych.
He said that he's not expecting the 4th child because he said that he's not active anymore in this way.
Okay. I mean, who knew that we would descend into this? I invited that pressure on myself, and I have to take full responsibility for that. Let me just ask you, I was sent this from your local paper, and I think I asked you about this yesterday, Darius, and you can help with this, but the headline was that you were the laughing stock of the entire village because you had a dream that you'd become world champion, and nobody believed you, and now you're on the verge. They said you had watched too many Rocky movies, and that you were crazy. Now on Sunday, you get to write your own ending to your own book, the chapter where you become world champion. Just how much of a motivation is it to prove people wrong?
Generalnie jest tak, że ludzie, którzy rodzą się w bardzo małych miejscowościach, mają dużo trudniej inaczej. Ja mam 3 braci i 7 sióstr, więc wychowałem się w domu, gdzie każdy dzień był na swój sposób walką. I drogę, jaką przebyłem, jak zacząłem trenować boks, to wszyscy mówili, jest to niemożliwe, że to nie jest dla takich ludzi jak ty, że nie możesz się porównywać do najlepszych. A ja swoim uporem, swoją determinacją, swoją ciężką pracą udowodniłem i zmieniam po prostu myślenie ludzi, że nieważne jak zaczynasz, ważne jak kończysz.
I was born in the small village, and usually the life in the small village is harder. I've got 3 brothers and 7 sisters, so every day for me was a fight. People, they doubt about me, but I know that the hard work, smart work, let me achieve my dreams.
Give the final word to the fighters. Do you have a final message, Chris? I don't think you're into the whole final predictions, but I'll ask you for a final message. What can we expect from you on Sunday? What are you expecting from yourself?
I'm expecting the very, very best version of myself, and I think I've shown that this camp in the gym, and I'm expecting that with that work that I'll be putting in, it'll be very interesting to see how he deals with it. 52 fights, never been dropped, is an impressive feat at the level he's boxed at, but I believe that will all change on Sunday night.
So, and still for you, Mateusz, finally, and the new.
Słyszałem kiedyś takie słowa, piękne bardzo słowa, że mistrzem możesz nie być, natomiast dobrym człowiekiem powinieneś, a dobrzy mistrzowie są mistrzami, więc and the new.
So I've heard words that you don't have to be a master, but you have to be a good human, and good human is a world champion. So, and the new.
Thank you very much, Team Masternak. Thank you very much, Chris and Shane. Ben, final word on you. I think, let's not beat around the bush here. I think if both of these guys turn up how we expect them to turn up, this has got all the ingredients to be, 1, a really good boxing match, but 2, to catch fire, probably early, and has the ingredients to be a Fight of the Year contender, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. I think if we made this fight before the Lawrence Okoli fight, maybe Masternak would have been considered the favourite by many. I think it's that close a fight. I think it's a night that he's dreamed of, and just sitting next to Chris Billam-Smith, it's almost like sitting next to a different person. He's grown with it. I can feel that. He feels like he's a world champion. I can feel the confidence coming from him. I'm hoping for a career best performance on Sunday night. I think we'll get that. Obviously, I'm favouring Chris Billam-Smith, but we can 100% guarantee an unbelievable fight. It's sold out. We want everyone tuning in to Sky Sports 9 o'clock. I think it's an earlier main event on Sunday night.
9 o'clock main event, yeah, 6 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena.
And NBC's Peacock. This is the most popular man in the cruiserweight division, defending his belt against Masternak, coming to take it from him. It's a great fight for boxing.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everybody that's taken part in this press conference today. We've had all sorts, haven't we? We've had people calling each other out that are fighting, people calling each other out that aren't fighting, family planning. We've had it all. So if you want more of that, come back tomorrow because we've got the weigh-in. But for now, it's going to be head-to-heads with everybody on the card. You'll all get your chance to have one-on-ones as well. I should just say, I'm full of jokes. This isn't one. 3:30, Leona Lewis is doing a sound check next door. So get your interviews in early, unless you want Leona. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful, but unless you want to get that over your interviews, get them done quickly. Big Mo, over to you. We've got head-to-heads, and everyone will get their chance for one-on-ones.
Perfect. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, members of the media. Once again, we're going to clear this stage, clear the furniture off to allow for some head-to-heads real quick.
You know, when we have these press conferences, guys, you always want to learn something, don't you? You want to learn something new. I feel like we learned a little too much information there about Masternak.
Yeah, I mean, what was a good thing just said there, I think Andy said it, if this fight was happening before the Okoli fight, I think Masternak definitely would have been the favourite. I think that, you know, it would have been a fight that they would have seen a step up to a world title, and he hadn't been there, but Masternak had been there, so that is an interesting point.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that exactly when we were talking before the press conference started, and I asked you who you thought would win if it had been a vacant title. That's what I was driving at, because it does mean something. Of course, you're the champion, and it gives you that extra 10% possibly. But Masternak is a real threat, and looking at him there, he's got this kind of serenity that a really experienced fighter has. Because the more I kind of look at elite level sport, the more you realise that you prepare as best you can, and if you've had a great camp, then great, but you have that acceptance that on the night you go in there, you do your best, and whatever happens, happens. And Masternak kind of just is resonating that, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And also the experience that he'll have got from the Okoli fight, the improvements and confidence, all of that, which makes him who he is today, say, as opposed to pre the Okoli fight. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is still probably a 50-50 fight, you know, and it's still quite possible that Masternak wins it, but I think if this was happening before the fight, I don't think he would have beat Masternak. I think he might now.
Let's just take a pause on our main event for a moment. Just looking at this one, Michael McKinson, Musa Lawson. Lengthy stare-off between these two. McKinson means business, doesn't he, this weekend?
Yeah, he does. They both bang up for this, though. I bumped into Musa Lawson and Kofi, who's looking after him yesterday, last night when I was out going for a walk, and he was quick to tell me about his knockout credentials and just how seriously he's taking this. You know, he's not come here to play games, but nor is Michael McKinson, because it's interesting to hear him talk about that shift in mentality and approach, where he understands that people want to see knockouts, because people do want to see knockouts. We appreciate fine technical boxing, and a reasonable amount of people watching do as well, but let's be real, people want to see knockouts.
I like McKinson. I think he's probably, well, he's definitely one of, if not the most underrated, underappreciated fighter in the UK. You know, he's boxed loads of undefeated fighters, you know, gone in back to back, and he's everyone's swerving him really, because he's high risk, very low reward, and he believes in himself and he rolls the dice every time.
This is a fight that could steal the show, this one. Lee Cutler, Kingsley Egbunike. Didn't really want to say much, did he? Egbunike?
No, not really. He's happy to kind of slide under the radar. He knows what he's done in his career. He's
I felt for Andy in that interview.
He made him work, didn't he? He's had a couple of defeats, but he had a good win in an eliminator. He's been biding his time, and he's just not phased at all about being the away fighter here. As Johnny said before, some people prefer to be the away fighter. They feed off that energy of everybody thinking they're going to lose, and Cutler's under a lot of pressure here.
Exactly. How important is this in terms of Cutler's career on Sunday?
Yeah, massive. I was thinking, I hope he's not as defensive on Sunday nights. Cutler will have no chance of catching him.
He'll have been fed by then.
But yeah, exactly. No, look, Cutler's with the what happens when you've got a big name that brings big-time boxing to your city like Billam-Smith has? The fight, it trickles down, and the fighters underneath that wouldn't normally get the opportunity or the platform, they get it, don't they? So Cutler's had the benefit of that, and he's chalked up some nice wins, and his performances have improved. But this is his kind of acid test now.
It makes you want your own night even more, doesn't it? Because you boxed on a lot of hats and undercards, and it makes you look at that and just think, I want that to be me.
Of course it does, and it gives you the ability. Everyone needs idols, don't they? Everyone needs people that they look up to, that they think, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And you want to try and emulate it.
It's exactly what Ben Whittaker said to us when he was speaking to us in Wolverhampton, nights like we had there. He's like, yeah, I want a piece of this. I want to be headlining these shows. And it gives you that appetite, doesn't it? It gives you a taste of it. As for this fight, Lauren Price against Sylvia Botto, smiles there. I don't think they're going to be smiles on Sunday for Lauren Price. She's a lady that absolutely means business and wants a massive 2024.
Yeah, and it's good to see her kind of just kick into gear in terms of what you need to do outside of the ring, because often, you know, you can have other people doing that for you, but with her setup, with the GB setup, the GB coaches are not going to do that. That's not their style. Rob McCracken, you know really well, Matt. He's never done that. He's not going to start now, is he?
He's doing his own career. He's going to do it for us.
What that means is you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But she didn't betray herself either. She did it, but in an authentic, respectful way. You can still put yourself out there without coaching anyone else.
But there's also the big fight that she'd like the winner of. It is right in front of her, isn't she? Natasha Jonas, Michaela Mayer. She wants the winner of that, so it's the right time for her to start speaking up and stir the pot.
Absolutely it is, and like she said, she believes in herself. She doesn't make loads of noise because she's never had to make loads of noise because her ability and her performances speak for themselves. But I think she also understands now that in professional boxing, it's a little bit different because it is, you know, there is kind of a crossover showbiz appeal, isn't there?
It was an interesting dynamic between these two, Ben Whittaker and Dreadeye. We're going with Dreadeye, aren't we, Andy? That's how we're going.
I'll check. But based on the fact that it was Arman Jojai, who's also Albanian, I think maybe Dreadeye.
Dreadeye the Jedi.
There you go.
May the force be with him.
In your head. But it was. The sparring stuff was interesting. I mean, it always is when you get into the sparring stories. Neither fighter wants to give much away, do they? So how much you could read into that, who knows? But this is Ben's chance, isn't it? To get back in the mix and sort of remind everyone what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely, because he turned pro with a big fanfare correctly. Took him a bit of time to work out where he was going to go promotionally correctly, because you want to make sure you get the best deal. What I like about Dreadeye is that he doesn't really know that much about Ben Whittaker. I know they've sparred, but and he doesn't care.
No.
Whereas the reputation Ben's got, if he fights a UK fighter, they know all about him, and they might say the right things in terms of believing they can win. It doesn't really catch hold, but with Dreadeye, whether he's deluded or whether it's justified, he actually thinks he can beat him.
Very quickly, Matt, when you're a fighter, and say for Ben, early on in his professional career, he's had to deal with a bit of frustration, injury. How much does that sort of sit in the back of your mind going further down the line if you've had to sit out at the start of your career?
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to think it won't make him tentative in the ring to let his hands go, but I think it can certainly make you impatient. You're desperate to get moving in your career, and that can make you be a little bit over-eager, you know, and then you don't want to be over-eager, especially when you've got a style like Ben Whittaker, where they're a bit more slick. You kind of want to relax and let things happen as opposed to trying to force them, so there is always that danger.
So this is our main event on Sunday evening, hoping for this to be around 9 p.m, so make sure you tune in for then. Don't forget we're at the early start at 6 p.m. as well. Chris Billam-Smith versus Mateusz Masternak. Chris's maiden defence of his WBA title that he beat Lawrence Okoli back in May at the Vitality Stadium. It's going to be a really interesting fight, I think, this, Andy, because there's a lot riding on this for Chris and Masternak. Masternak, he's been waiting for this for a very, very long time indeed.
Quite simply, he thought this opportunity had passed him by. Given the career he's had, he definitely deserved a world title shot, but you don't always get what you deserve, particularly in boxing, and he'd have thought that this was never going to happen. So when the call came in and he got offered this, he probably couldn't really believe it, and that's why on Sunday he will just leave everything in there in the way that he always has, and then some, because he knows that after this is it. There's not going to be another chance.
I agree. I'd say and then some, definitely. He's a consummate professional. He's always going to give it us all, but as you said there, he probably thought this opportunity had just been and gone. Like, it hadn't quite happened for him, just never quite got there. Now that it has got there and that it's came out of the blue, I bet he can't believe it.
Before we go, keys to victory for Chris. He's going to have an enormous amount of support there for him on Sunday night in front of his home crowd here at the Bournemouth International Centre.
Honestly, I think both of them are very similar. Like I said before, they don't do anything absolutely spectacular, but they're solid in every department. They're both solid hitters, but then they've both got good chins. So I think it is going to be a 12-round, really tough, hard, competitive fight, and they've just got to win more rounds.
Yeah, we can't wait. It's going to be a brilliant night. Make sure you join us Sunday evening. Remember, Sunday evening, not Saturday night, Sunday evening. We're going to be on from 6 p.m. on Sky Sports Arena. Thank you, chaps, for today. We'll see you at the weigh-in tomorrow, and thank you for watching at home.